Hello. Hello. Gosh, I know, I've got my summer sleeves on. You would think it's summer here in the UK. It is not. But the sun is out and it's quite warm up in my workroom. I've had to move around, so I'm at a funny angle. I've got all sorts of weird stuff behind me, but I had to get out the sun. Hi, how are you doing? I was going about my business this morning, doing my jobs. I had lots of ideas in my head of what I was going to do this morning, but I've got my washing out and done the dishwasher and all that stuff we have to do every day. And then I thought, I'm going to do so-and-so. And my guide said, no, you're not, Lindsay. You're going to go and do a video while your daughter's in the shower. So I went, oh, okay. So here I am, bringing you my video. I don't exactly know what I'm going to say, but what's new. But I do have a sense of what message wants to come through me for you today. So if you're receiving this, whatever it is, I hope this lands with whatever you need to hear. I don't know how long I'm going to be. It kind of depends how long my daughter's in the shower, really. It can be varied. You know what I mean? So we'll see. Go with the flow. So in my work as an energy therapist, as a pattern release guide, a deconditioning guide, all these things, I've been for a long while trying to find like where I fit in supporting PDA parents with that message. Because when you put yourself out there, as I do, saying, I offer parent support for PDA parents. I'm a PDA parent. I'm trained as an integrative counsellor. I am really happy to hear you. And I know what it is like to be in that place of struggle and stress and strain and tension and not know where the flip to go with it because you have not got a quality listening ear for that space. And sometimes you just flipping need that space, don't you, you know? And I know that when I was in those times myself, when my daughter was younger, when I just really needed someone to like hold space for my emotions, for my processing, so I could work it through for myself, I tried pulling on a lot of my go-to resources that I was used to, you know, certain trainers and guides and therapists, and the beautiful souls. Good morning. Hi, nice to have you here live. I would go to my trusty people for support, and through no fault of their own, I just found they couldn't meet me where I was at because they had not walked this journey. And I would always find I came to a wall where they couldn't go that far with me. They couldn't extend themselves because they hadn't opened that up in themselves to know what it means to be that low demand, in my case, radically unschooling parent who was walking the path I was walking. And I would find I would come against their well-meant, loving, knowledgeable from their perspective, well-integrated training that just didn't meet my needs. You know, talk around boundaries was relevant to me, but their understanding of what that meant didn't hit where I was, for example. So I have been really, really happy to say, I'm a PDA parent, I'm a radically unschooling mum. We do things different here. You know, it doesn't get more low demand than in this household. And I love to hold space. I love to meet you. I love to be able to offer that space. So I do that. I say, I do parent support sessions. And if you just want to come and I hold space for you as an energy therapist, if you want to do some tapping, we can do that. If you want me to be in my integrative counselling role and be that quality listening ear, I'll do that. And I've walked with you in lots of different ways doing that work and continue to do that work. But what I really, really, really want to talk to you about and is bubbling through me today and more strongly lately is my perspective, and this is my belief, see where it lands for you, that parenting, specifically parenting when you are walking with a child who comes into this life with a point of difference that they have to hold firmly to, when you're walking that parenting path, you have the gift, the opportunity to open up to the most profound personal growth and spiritual development. And I like to talk about that, and I love to walk with people who like to talk about that and to be in that place. So if you're finding yourself new to the world of PDA as a parent, and you're finding yourself in that struggle and tension in your household, and everything feels confusing and chaotic, of course, first, go and find out about PDA, go and find out about low demand parenting, go and tune into the PDA Summit and find all those incredible speakers who have this practical knowledge, go to the PDA Society, go into the groups and talk about the situations in your household and gather information. You know, if you were coming to me with a problem with your gut and your digestion, and you're eating McDonald's and Haribo all day, you know, it's quite obvious that there's a starting point, isn't there? So go do that, absolutely. But also, or after, depending what works for you, I think there's a really big conversation to be had about really that the changes that we're ultimately asking questions about and seeking are changes within ourselves. And as an integrative therapist, as an energy therapist, I would say it is always everything out there, always relationships, things we're coming up against, anything where we feel like we've got struggle and we're hitting a brick wall, whether it's our health, whether it's money, whether it's our parenting, whether it's our relationships, whatever it is, it's all in here. That would be my argument. So I love when, sometimes, you know, I get angry with life too, but from my highest perspective, I love when life brings us the invites that I believe our soul is ready for. And I try and find the language that sits most comfortably for people, because I tend to go to a spiritual language perspective, I guess, from my personal bias. But when I talk about spirituality, what I'm really talking about is an invitation to remember who the flip you really are. You know, whatever belief system that falls on for you, I've got no attachment to at all. For me, it is about know thyself, you know, really get to know who you are. And life brings us constantly the opportunity to see who we are not, because we come across this wall, you know, because at our very essence, we have ease, we have openness, we have peace, we feel satisfied, you know, and if we're not feeling those things, doesn't mean we're getting anything wrong, it means we're living this life as it's designed for us, and we're seeing, okay, there's something to work with. And that's the thing, we don't need to go out looking for it. It comes to us. And so if you're finding yourself in this parenting journey and stuff is coming to you, you know, it's a blessing. So come and be with us here at Peace with PDA in community as we discover what that is and discover what it's inviting you into in yourself, and allow yourself to open up to it with curiosity, because it is giving you directly the knowledge of what you are ready to let go of, the blocks and the baggage that you're carrying through life, whether it's trauma, hurt, pain, you know, or whether it's imprinting, conditioning you've picked up through your life. We have got so much, you know, there is nobody sat in an adult body on this planet at the moment who has not got a lot of baggage that we've picked up. And even if it is not of the kind of hurt and trauma and the kind of things that we talk about, it is in the fixed way we've molded ourselves into being in family, in community, in education, in our lives, you know, in politics, all of it. And we are detangling it as much as life is bringing to us. And that gift is for us, but oh my goodness, isn't that gift for our children? To raise a daughter who has had the privilege, the lucky little thing that she is, of always being radically unschooled. So she has never, I don't even mean it from an education perspective, but always been in the philosophy, even before we knew about PDA, of, I speak for myself, not my husband, not that he doesn't think this, but I don't want to speak his words, but for me, the belief that she has this inbuilt inner guidance and that she is meant to follow that. And it is my job to honour that and walk with that and enjoy that and learn from that. We learn from each other all the time. And it is not my job to teach her, to mould her, you know, and being able to witness her growing in her power and her strength has lit up so much for me about where I have hidden that inner power in me, you know, where I push down my inner knowing, where I push down my preferences, where I mask, you know, all of that stuff. So it's a glorious journey filled with lots of wonder. That doesn't mean I'm sitting here speaking to you like I don't know that it's really challenging. It's really flipping, it's really confronting. It is really challenging. It is really exposing. My daughter's 14 now, and she will, with great skill, I don't mean in a clumsy way, with great skill, she will challenge me. She will challenge me directly, I mean, in really powerful ways. And I have to go back and have exploration in conversation with her to say, yeah, it jarred me. You brought that to me yesterday and that jarred me, and I've had to walk with that a bit, and either I'm sorry for, or I acknowledge that and I found out some more information about that and I've grown in that way, or I've discovered that pattern in myself where that habit or that prejudice or that behaviours come from, or that there was a defence mechanism in me, you know, and we explore that together, and she holds space for that. And it's, you know, it's really powerful. And I just think there is more space for us having these direct conversations. And I'm getting nudges lately to come and talk to you more directly about that. So if you are feeling this, keep tuning in, please. It's really lovely to come and connect with you and feel the energy of you all on your journey. And please know that I do understand that when these challenges come along, they feel sometimes, often, all-encompassing, impossible, and it brings up all our victimhood feeling. Me too. This is hard. I don't want this. I didn't choose this. I can't do this. You know, it all comes up, but that is our gift, to hold space for ourselves and each other in exploring and hearing that truth, allowing those emotions, that energy emotion to come up and to move, because we bring it into awareness, because we bring it into the space, but we hold that in that sacred container of knowing it is the journey, not the destination. And that as that moves, there is beautiful stuff coming through for us as we kind of up-level our vibration to a new knowing of who we really are, a new remembering of who we really are. Hope you enjoyed that. I better go and see what's going on with the shower, mop up, you know, all that stuff. Right, lots of love. Have a really super, super day. What day is it? Tuesday. We're going to Eliza's pole play class today. Can I just before I go, can I just tell you, when you open up to life's opportunities without attachment, it's incredible what comes along. So Eliza really struggles with, like so many of you are going to relate to, going into any kind of groups or classes. But yet this class has come along with a teacher who just hits that moment for her and talks to her like an adult, and has embraced the fact that she doesn't really like being in the kids' class, so she goes to the adults' class. Easy as that, you know? And then from that place, she's just got this connection and this group and this class, and it's like, you know, these things just come along. It's just amazing. Right, have a super day. Lots and lots of love. Bye.